Time for the final battle against the boss, in this case. Here we go. Will you please state your name and occupation for the record?
Certainly. I am Aristoteles. I teach the lawyer course at Davis Legal Academy, and let me add that while I welcome any opportunity to assist with the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion.
Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at the speech you gave. Can we count on your cooperation in this?
Very well, if that's all you're interested in, please proceed, Miss Sykes.
We need to find some sort of evidence that shows his speech was pre-recorded. All right, I believe we're ready. Let's roll the video. Here we go. Roll the tape, y'all.
Good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking you for coming here today. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. When I was a student, I, too, could hardly wait for this day to come.
Oh, no. I'd forgotten how long and boring his speech was. Wake me up once this is over. Hey, no fair.
The experiences of our youth have a powerful and profound effect on our adult. Yulia, wake up. Pay attention.
Huh? Eek! I'm awake. Isn't that right, Your Honor?
Huh? What? I'm awake too. Wide awake, see? Totally. Once again, our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over all of you today. Pay attention and you may make a difference one day. Now, let the mock trial begin.
Our pure white Lady Justice? She doesn't look pure or white. Just saying.
That is about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students with tears in their eyes.
He's obviously not familiar with the phrase bored to tears. Listen, Sykes Dono, if you have subjected me to this epic study in tedium without purpose, Taka will feast on your tongue after I've cut it out. Eek! But you were asleep the whole time.
Well, Miss Sykes, did you notice anything strange about that speech?
Can I please hear that last part again? Yeah, the part where he lied.
Once again, our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over all of you today.
Yeah, pure white my ass. There, I finally found what we needed. Professor Means, I have only one question about your speech. Why does that last part we just heard contradict with this? Boopa chicka easy peasy. The professor said the pure white Lady Justice would be watching over them. But the Lady Justice in the video isn't even close to being white. It's as gold can be, motherfucker!
I'm not sure I can wrap my jaw around that to test its authenticity.
I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honor. Now it's true that this statue is pure white. But it broke before the mock trial began. The one you see here is its replacement.
Oh, well, that's a shame on every count.
Ironically, this golden statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one. Meaning the professor wouldn't have made a mistake in its color if he'd been present. Got him.
It seems that I have caused some confusion, but it was merely an oversight on my part.
The statue was in the middle of the room. How could you not know what it looked like?
Well, I was in the balcony seat. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white.
I'm afraid this isn't sufficient evidence of the speech being pre-recorded. We had our answer long ago. The accused was the only one to leave the lecture hall. No, wait! There's gotta be something that can prove that the speech was pre-recorded. According to the mock trial video, the speech started here and ended here. Damn, he talked for 10.5 minutes. Crazy. It was a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again. It was only a little over 10 minutes? It felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was? Easy. There's a timestamp in the top right. Yeah, no shit. All you have to do is Subtract the time the speech started from the time it ended. The speech goes from the 10-minute mark to 20:35. Wait a second. Oh, it's in seconds, so 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Did I say? Yeah, I said 10.5 minutes. That's what I said. I could swear I've seen this same interval of time listed among the evidence. Oh, yeah? Maybe there's a way for me to use the speech time to show that it was pre-recorded. 10 minutes? 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Ah, there it is. There it is. There it is right there. The tape has about 10 minutes and 35 seconds of noise requiring further testing. There it is. Booyah. I would like the court to take a look at this.
And this is?
The voice print analysis that proves the voice on the tape recorder belongs to our client.
Yes, but didn't we just establish that the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication?
We did. But what I'd like to focus on is the noise that is also there.
Noise?
Yes, the defense believes it resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased. Yeah, I was thinking, like, why is it 10 minutes into the video, or into the tape? I had that same thought when we first got the tape. Like, why is it just a bunch of static, blah, 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 until the 10-minute mark? Why? That seems dumb. But anyway.
Huh. And what do you hope to prove by that?
The length of the noise is what's important. It's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. Damn. What a nitpicky detail to catch this fool. And what did the timestamp read at the moment Professor Means began his speech?
That would be exactly 10.
Now let's fast forward to this long-winded exercise in boredom to the end. Okay, stop. The video timestamp now reads 20:35. Based on this, we know the time it took for the speech alone.
Right, subtract 10 minutes and you get 10:35. 10 minutes and 35 seconds.
Coincidence? I think not. Right, 10 minutes and 35 seconds, the same as the noise on the tape recording. I assume you all understand what this means. Professor Means' pre-recorded speech had been there where the noise is now. Yeah, he's a fucking liar. We know. Let's get there. Stop it, Black Quill. Stop it. Almost called him Blackwell. I don't know where that came from. You're welcome back, Grandmaster, for making breakfast. I'm gonna have to eat something here soon myself. I'm getting kind of hungry. I wonder if we can finish this case before I go eat, though. I feel like we're not even close to finish, though.
You seem rather confident, considering this is a mere happenstance match of numbers.
Objection!
But is it really just numbers? The lab is continuing the study of the tape. So far, they found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. I didn't have to do his accent again, I guess, but I wanted to. The police are analyzing the noise as we speak. It won't be long until we know what was originally there. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Now, I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an alibi with the recording. By pinning the crime on Junie. Well, he's not going to get away with it. Not on my watch. He can't keep getting away with it!
Precise.
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
I believe you are well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I would vigorously defend her as per my word. And to that purpose, I offer to be her lawyer. Alas, look what's happened.
All I've stated are obvious deductions derived from evidence and testimony.
Truth be told, I have no intention of testifying. I would keep you quiet for Juniper's sake. But now that you cast this blame upon me, I have no choice but to reveal the truth.
Oh boy. The truth, he says. We'll see about that, creepy boy. Uh-oh. This doesn't sound good.
I will now reveal the truth behind why I had to pre-record my speech before the mock trial. I, Professor Means, always say what I mean, and I mean what I say by all means.
Let's see what he's got to say. I'm ready to poke holes in this bitch right now. Here we go. Professor Means' testimony.
The defendant came to me with what she said was very important. By my necessity, a secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get rid of her declared innocent in court. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do.
Wow. just wow. What a fucking way to go with this. Trying to just be like, oh yeah, I knew all along, but because she wanted me to defend her, I just was like, all right. This guy's trash. Anyway.
Oh my, so you're saying the defendant threatened you?
This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about it lines up too perfectly to be true.
On this most inconsequential of occasions, let me be completely frank with you. Juniper has truly taken to my heart by teaching that states the end justify the means.
I don't believe you.
When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent.
Her two friends, the witnesses?
Correct. Hugh O'Connor and Robert Newman. I was to ensure all three walk free. All three were to achieve their dream. That was what Juniper was seeking. And she was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end.
Huh. You no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactics.
Yes, well, that is why I vowed to rigorously defend her, despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth if they wished for victory in court. But alas, those days are over. Now, in the defense of justice, ordering all that is good, the end justify the means.
I'm so sick of hearing that phrase.
Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth if it's victory you seek. Steel yourself for this new courtroom reality.
That does it. He's gonna regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideas in here. Since he's already surrendered to the dark age of law, it's up to me to fight it. Why so silent, Sykes Dono? Something the matter? This is a court of law. It's no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let the evidence do the talking.
Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. It will not do to have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify the situation.
Nah, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is. Alright, well, here we go. I'm pressing everything, baby. Here we go. I don't know if I saw an obvious thing in there, but I'm sure there's something that's obvious if I just go through each thing point by point. Came to me with what she said was very important by necessity secret. Okay, press that shit. I doubt our client would have come to you with something like that.
You have a point there. If only Professor Court had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead.
So, our client came to talk to you after Professor Court was dead.
Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day.
Okay, so nothing there, obviously. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi?
You have every reason to be surprised. I, too, was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect that badly.
Is he kidding me? That lie couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is, how am I going to expose it?
It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused?
Okay. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked if I declare her innocent in court. Do you consider that a threat?
Yes, but it's now you to whom she has passed her demands on to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you too are being used by Juniper.
What?
Your Honor, I ask that you too do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. And perhaps most important of all, she is a fervent follower of my teachings.
That's the part I don't believe. You don't follow your shit, boy. Your Honor, the witness's testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character.
Very well. Objection sustained. So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable.
Okay. That's fine. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students.
Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that. Juniper hadn't really actually committed murder, and that she hadn't meant to threaten me.
Really? Please do explain.
Long had I waited for a student who would embody my teachings.
Does the witness realize what he is saying?
Surely you must see the true meaning in my words. I am merely staying true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times.
Oh wow, his way of thinking is really warped, but I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words.
It is a dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on the matter.
Alright, so we have to go back to that one and contradict something, but let's finish the last line here. When I said I would protect Juniper, I mean it was the humane thing to do. Oh yeah? Humane? You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. He'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie.
What a frightful look. I would ask that you not glare at me so. I have nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That is why I'm protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student.
Liar! You're trying to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show that what he's saying isn't what he's really thinking?
You could not possibly overturn my claims. So isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not truth, then what is?
If he thinks I'm going to give in to his pack of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm going to find a hole in his story if it's the last thing I do. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, that all made perfect sense. Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making this up as he goes along. He'll trip up on his own words yet. Time to see how consistently the professor's testimony matches up with his actual actions. Alright, so his actual actions. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it wasn't anything to do. So here's the thing. We just got a piece of evidence updated, right? Identified as a fake, Professor Mean used Hugh to pass it on to the police. Shouldn't this be the piece of evidence that contradicts that he was trying to protect Juniper because he clearly fabricated this? I don't have any other things that are fabricated that I know of. Let's be fair. That I know of. So I might just throw this out here and see what happens.
Objection!
I might be wrong here, though. That statement contradicts the evidence. No, it doesn't.
It does? And how would that be?
Just look at it. It's one huge contradiction.
I see. The defense is simply making another baseless assertion.
Aw, damn it. Eek. Crash and burn. Okay. I think I feel like I have the right piece of evidence. I just gotta figure out where to put it. So hold on. Let me press this one again. Consider the threats. Yes. What? Your honors, I know there's no reason to fool you. Jennifer's back on the stream. And when she's affirmed following my teachings. See, that's the part I don't believe. Your Honor, the witness's testimony is nothing but an act on our client's character. Okay, so even though we got an objection there about how that's attacking on her character. Overlook the threat as a teacher. Yes, perhaps I have some serious reflection on the matter. I suppose there was something on my part I want to believe that. Juniper hasn't been murdered. She shouldn't hurt me. Really, do explain. Teachings. Surely you must see the true meaning of my words. I am merely stating that changed what I teach and my methods are a reflection of the times. Wow. The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more he'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words. His actions and words. The humane thing to do. Maybe this is where I'm supposed to present the tape. Alright, I might get this wrong again, but we're going to do it one more time on this piece of it, on this line instead of the other line. Fuck! I had it right. I just had it on the wrong fucking line. Son of a bitch. Okay. So, I had it right. My logic was right, but sometimes I never realize which line I have to present it on. Because all we had to do was present it to be like, yo, you're trying to protect her, huh? Liar. So let me get this straight. You were trying to help Ms. Woods? Huh. That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor.
For defamation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor, it is an outrage.
Ms. Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it."
There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise, involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? Yeah, that's so obvious. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself with while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law. Yeah, get him. Get him. Are you going to object to me now, bitch? Object at me all you want, bitch.
Boy, you little... You dare call my teachings and methods lies?
Yeah, actually. Oh boy. Oh shit, what the fuck's he doing with his hair? What the fuck?
Davis Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world. You'll never forget what true education in lawyering means once I'm through with you.
Huh? Professor Means, what's with your hair?
Quiet! No talking in class.
Jesus. Ow! He threw chalk at her. What the fuck?
Homeroom, October 26th. Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We begin with roll call. Athena Sykes?
Huh? Here?
Apologists?
I'm fine. I mean, I'm here.
Fool! The proper report is here, without any extraneous situation.
Ouch! I mean, here.
Next, Your Honor. Here. Free class, that's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwell? I said, Simon Blackwell? Are you here or not?
There's always one, isn't there?
Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now, get out of your class this instant.
Get out? Very well, if that is your wish. Who am I to find my homeroom teacher? See ya. Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles. Ha ha ha! It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinary committee. But is that really so shocking? Huh. Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Fulbright.
Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. All right, class is now in session.
Why do I have the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomachache? What's with the mohawk hair? I don't fucking know, Omega. This guy's gone insane, for real. Here we go. Main point. Juniper is the killer. I am innocent. Wow.
Pay attention. I am not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Oh boy. But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial.
Objection. Martina, you disappoint me so. To think you would name me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already at home by that time, so how could I have been involved in the...
Are you fucking serious? Well, this is an easy one to refute, like immediately. Immediately. Professor Means, can you really prove you had already gone home by that time?
Objection! Can you prove that I was still at school?
Actually, very easily. No, I can't. Yeah, actually, we can, Athena. Stop acting like you don't have evidence for this.
So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty. But you have also earned yourself lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate.
Ew! I do enough of that at the office. Objection. I'm guessing this is Blackwell? Or no, this is somebody else entirely. Oh, shit. Objection! No way, man! I totally object! Robin? I can't believe I fell for the professor's silver-tongued lies.
Why, you? How dare you talk about your teacher like that?
I'm not listening to you anymore, man! No way, no how! Now I have a confession to make! You know how those statues were that were on stage? I didn't make them at all by myself! I didn't make them all by myself. Oh. The statues on stage? Do I want to know where this is headed? I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So, I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell? Right. And it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished.
Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony.
Absolutely it is. Plus he's in the fucking photo. Can we present that? The professor told me I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth! Robin.
Well, somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, you're here to watch among the delinquents. Do something. Yeah! And who's in charge of the class pet around here?
Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do.
No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Ah! Nurse! Where's the school nurse when you need one?
It would seem Sykes Dono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case, you would do well to draw your staff, quick as lightning.
Very well, then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served old school style.
What does that... Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. This is going to be easy because there's photos, boy. There's photos! Professor Means' work of art.
But pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statues between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I possibly have the time to go to the art room and commit murder?
I mean, wasn't that hard.
You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now.
That evening I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. It was well after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30? That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large, and they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell.
Oh, right. The professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short a time. Gah, that didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Alright, here we go. Time to start pressing everything again. Here we go.
Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one
Statue. Yeah, okay, that's fine, but we'll press it anyways. Ms. Newman took over half a day? Can you please be a little more precise than that?
What a wonderful question. She was having quite a tough time, you see. Professor Gavin's statue alone took her from the morning hours into the evening.
Well, it is a rather large statue, after all.
Don't be silly. It merely exposes the difference between student and teacher.
Okay, that's fine. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30. Okay. Most of the other statue? What exactly does that mean?
Robin cleared the atmosphere got right of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. I, in turn, completed the rest of it.
I see. In academics, as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of the statue making, didn't you?
Why, you little... It is the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics of art a long, long time ago.
Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals. Oh, quiet you.
Ma'am, do you understand? I could not leave that stage until I was done.
Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? So here's the thing. If you remember, both statues are broken, right? But the Mr. Wright, Phoenix Wright statue, it got broken into like a bajillion more pieces, so it was much more fragile. So he must have used some shortcuts, right? It wasn't as strong as the other one was. He clearly finished it in a rush. I'm going to accept it for a moment to get through the rest of the testimony. I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede.
Well, I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time.
I can see that Professor Means never left the stage. Oh, man, I was supposed to say he did leave. Never mind.
That's right. But what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime.
I'm not going to give up here.
I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Hold on. Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors? Not yet, Athena. It's not time to quit. Not yet time to quit. It's at times like these when it seems like there's no way out. That you have to... Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down. So I guess saying that he didn't leave the stage was the right answer. Even though I didn't do it on purpose. I was doing it so we could get through more of his testimony, but I guess not. Anyway, we have to turn the case upside down. Okay. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there.
It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary. Even casting stone. If it'll distract her. Ah! Who brought that bird to school?
Sykes Dodo, if I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it! Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the... I was just about to say this, but if he never left the stage, then we're going to find out that the bow and arrow is what killed her, not the ice pick. Or the awl. Not the awl. The reason I say that is because he is the archery instructor. Is he not? I'm pretty sure he is. So yeah, the murder weapon was the arrow. He definitely shot her with an arrow. What if we got the murder weapon wrong?
Really now? And what do you intend to label the murder weapon then?
Huh? Oh,
Perhaps you bludgeoned the victim to death with your duller than dull thinking.
I'll give you a choice this time. Either you change your thinking or suffer a penalty. But I know we got something wrong, so I guess I'll have the penalty. Wait, what? Really? I'm wrong? You're going to sit there and tell me that I'm wrong? If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, what did we get wrong then? Oh, maybe we have the crime scene wrong. Like where it happened. I guess that could be the case. I still think it was the bow and arrow that killed her and not the fucking awl. If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer.
Ridiculous! The defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Sykes Dono.
Okay, the murder was actually committed here.
Are we going to imply that it was committed on the stage? But would that mean there'd be a puddle of blood there? I mean, it's the only place on here that's a place. Because if we're saying it's not the art room, let's just say she was murdered on stage. Fuck it. The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all. But that doesn't make any sense.
Telegram, when the body was found, there was a drop of blood on the floor. On the stage floor. Surely, there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed.
There wasn't any blood on the stage, really. But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now blood-stained.
We're talking about this right here. And if this is true, then this would also solve why this was this was supposed to be, you know, he tried to destroy this. So let's just go with that and see. There's a reason why there was blood on here.
It's true there was no bloodstains on the stage floor, but there was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed.
Oh my, that's quite a compelling...
Oh, sorry, wrong voice.
Oh my, that is quite a compelling theory.
Silence. Theory and story. Uh-oh.
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense.
That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not.
Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in.
Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well.
You do?
If there was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out that. This is what soaked up most of the victim's blood. I mean, even in the picture, the black one's on top of the red one, so makes sense.
Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner.
It's the Governor's banner that had been specifically made for the school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood, like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
So that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it.
The Governor's banner was like a dishcloth? Surely it was at least towel quality. I mean, if it soaked up that much blood. But he tried to destroy it, so yeah.
Simon, don't just stand there and do something.
Silence.
Shut the fuck up.
Sykes Dono, you are learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood if the murder occurred on the stage as you claim?
The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we've just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room. I guess he sent it up via this one, and then he got rid of it later. That's why it was gone.
To think you stoop so low to present me a garbage to this court.
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of a crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked Governor's banner to the art room. Then, the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense.
Blah! Blah!
Damn. I mean, it didn't quite happen the way we imagined, but if it was all fabricated because of this dickbag, you never know, man.
Order! Order! This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved. Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else do you explain the loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statue, then what was it?
I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it? What was it indeed? The knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. That's easy. I got the answer to this, too. The object that was sent down the wire to crash into the statues was the broken-ass statue that we put back together. This one. Remember, this was broken on stage, too.
Ah, that statue!
Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. Hell yeah, brother. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Oh boy. Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap heap relic in such a tedious manner?
Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming.
You know why, but the fact that you don't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to point us to the body, I guess. Either point us to the body or interrupt the mock trial. Maybe interrupt the mock trial? It's one or the other. I'll go with interrupt the mock trial. Professor Means was trying to interrupt the mock trial. That must be the answer.
Then let me ask this. Why would the professor want to interrupt the mock trial?
I object, Your Honor. I object to how you always ask people questions like that. You should try thinking for yourself once in a while. That's definitely a...
Oh, I just had a thought. It involves a penalty.
Alright, so it was the, to point us to the body. The issue here is moving the Lady Justice statue. I need to focus on that. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial during the time Professor Bean's fabricating speech. Alright, so it's to point us to the body. Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi. Yeah. I mean, that was my first thought, is he's trying to get us to find the body on purpose.
That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking this trial seriously. Well done.
Well, what do you got to say now, dickbag? It's him again, I'm assuming.
Objection. You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means, by all means.
Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting. What do you got now?
The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until the next day. Countless students passed the stage till they met me in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why did anyone see the body that entire time?
Because you had it hidden behind the stage. Remember the drag marks around the side of the stage? He hid it behind the stage. It's obvious, right? That can be explained by, if the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp. I know, but we've come so far.
Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been, and it always will be.
Just wait a minute. Yeah, we haven't really, explained why there was the drag mark on the other side of the stage yet. Not really. I know we said Juniper pulled the thing, but that all ended up being lies. All bullshit, so... Yeah, anyway.
Poor Juniper. She must seriously regret having asked you to defend her.
Ah!
But to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco.
Ah! Athena Sykes' attorney badge is just for show. Damn. Dumb murder case. It was no, it was this guy actually, FML. Unless he is an underpants gnome, but he's a pretty big gnome if he is. But also welcome in, sir. How you doing?
Not only did you fail to defend your client, you have also raised false charges against your friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer.
Bitch, please. Bitch, please. Ah! Dude, relax. This guy's a dick. He's just saying shit to piss you off and make you sad and mad and scared. Fuck this guy.
But if this trial proceeds in the same manner and ends in the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain?
Well, I'll just have to make sure that doesn't happen then, won't I? Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer, and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get a flashback case about that case that she keeps thinking about. That could be interesting, seeing like a baby Athena in a trial when she was a kid. Anyway, Athena, what's wrong? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Girl, this is no time to be singing songs by Bush, okay? There's no time to be singing songs by Bush. Relax, Athena, breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would. Oh, you're gonna. Who said it? Objection! Oh, it's him again? Or her again, rather? You leave Athena alone, man! She's the one who saved me! It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against Hugh. And that's not all. I've done some serious unforgivable things. So here's the thing. You raised false charges on Hugh because he lied. And he said he did it. And he made all the bullshit up. That wasn't false. I mean, it was false for you because it was false from him. It wasn't like it was like your fault that he lied and made that whole thing happen. God damn. Anyway, what's the unforgivable thing? Oh boy. Who's objectioning now? Oh, he's here now. Huh. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You use legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... And this is probably Juniper. It's not over yet, Thena. Yup. All three friends objectioned to me real quick. They objectioned to me. Even now at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie. I know you better than most people, Athena. And I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie. But I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence.
Silence, fool. Stop your bleeding this instant. You look an utter fool. Prosecutor Blackwell? There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you know who. Oh god, who's doing it now?
You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. You are helpless before the might of lawyers for whom the end justify the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him.
But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now?
Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look over the entire case and go, I'm Athena and I'm fine. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now, let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat, motherfucker! Alright, the final blow. Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Okay, so we're going to say it was hidden on stage. Okay. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? When did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have removed the body from its hiding place was, or is, during the mock trial. The body was moved during the mock trial. It was during the mock trial, specifically during the speech, I guess. The body was moved during the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically the white statue. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner. And sent it zipping to the stage with a crash, killing two birds with one stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide a body on that stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there had to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Okay. Something was used to cover the body up, but it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. In that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside. So are we implying that she was underneath where the right statue was at? And the right statue was never actually completed? I guess that's what we're implying. Alright. The body was hidden by Right statue! Oh, I know! The Mr. Right statue was never actually finished! The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. And there you go. Booyah, motherfucker! Ms. Newman gave up on the Right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night.
Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Or did he, though? Ha ha ha. No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work. The murder of Professor Court.
Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow.
He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Professor Wright. Or of Mr. Wright, whatever. Professor Wright? Did I say Professor? With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like the statue.
What?
I second that. What? Huh. Now this is getting interesting.
Objection! No, this is getting preposterous. How would you such a thing even be possible?
Easy. Well, you never know. We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Right. Huh, there you go. I'm going to pose like the statue, like so. And now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so that I look like a statue. Wow. This is fucking silly as hell. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? They're really going to wrap her up, aren't they?
I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice.
Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think that about does it. There you go. That's silly as hell. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look like a statue of Mr. Right or what? Looks like some random person to me. Weren't the statues a pair of busts? Phoenix Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair. The statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. You gotta hand it to me for trying anyway. Wait, that's it. The hands. Her arms were raised over her head, and there are dark bruises around her wrists. Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something. There you go. The marks on her wrist indicated she'd been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? Wow. Wow, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No! Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that that's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? In an objection pose or behind my back? I'm gonna go with... Were her hands tied behind her head? Does that make sense? They were tied behind her head? I mean, they were up. They weren't down. I'm gonna go with that. Apollo, tie both of my hands behind my head. See? This makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. There you go. There you go. Sure, but then what about the statue's arm? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this. I can't help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now. What did the victim's body have that I don't? The arrow sticking out of it? I mean, that's got to be the answer, right? There was an arrow sticking out of it. That's fucking funny. Anyway, it's noon. You got to go do some undiscovering soon, FML? Alright, well, have fun with your infinitely undiscovering shit. I'm going to go with the arrow, because that's the only thing that was on the body besides this, but that's not going to stick out. So, yeah, we'll go with that. I don't have an arrow sticking out of me. Oh, right, there was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. What are you, crazy? Fine, then go get some duct tape. Rapido, Schnell! Alright, alright. I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. There you go. Easy game. The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from two hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me with that cloth. But remember, to make the arrow stand out, okay? Good enough. Good enough. Mommy, the arm's too short. Shh, remember your indoor voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But, what else could you use for the arm?
Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you for your spirited determination.
This is the most ridiculous shit.
Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense.
Oh, God.
Now, disappoint me again and the penalty will be doubly painful.
Yikes. I guess I better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Court was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again. Like that? Right now? Okay, hold on. Please, 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 please be in this photo. It has to be. It just has to be. The arm on the... Sorry. The arm on the Mr. Right statue is really this right here. Are we gonna say it's his fucking globe thing? I mean... What else would it be in this picture? The only thing in this picture that even remotely looks that like long and stick like an arm like when it sticks out would be this fucking thing right here. There's nothing else in this photo that fits the bill. Alright, well, I'm just going to say it was his fucking globe. Got it! I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Right.
This is absurd. There's no such thing in this photo.
Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there. When we first met him, was he holding that staff? Because he might not have been holding that staff when I first met him. I'd have to go back and see.
Staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior.
Whatever. Just hurry up and lend it to me. There's a chance when I first met him he wasn't holding that. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
Oh god, what? There you go. Perfect. It's Phoenix Wright, look! It's that famous lawyer! And there you go, now everybody's like, there it is! That's definitely him. I'd know that pose anywhere. Wow. We did it! Didn't we? Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Well, am I not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light? Golden light? All I see before me is the pink specter of a man. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! That's just because Mr. Wright likes his statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink? Ha ha! Blah, that joke deserves a pink slip. Damn. All the pink jokes.
It seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness? Well, the resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence.
Objection!
Oh, I don't think so. Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than a mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is... examine the spear for prints? No, test the spear for blood. Let's do that. We had assumed the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. But if the wound was from the spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it.
Your Honor, a brief recess if you will. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it?
Oh my god, here we go. Here he goes. What's wrong with the non-guilty verdict?
What if I do that, then I'll be found innocent? Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Huh. Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now, I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Bathroom detail. Boo! Retake bar exam? No. 30% salary cut? No. Dismissal? Hell no. Guilty as charged. He's gonna write guilty. He's doing it. He's doing it! Oh, and he's cracking. He's breaking. He's shattering, y'all. Hell yeah. Got him.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness Aristotle Means?
It is as Sykes Donor suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to this heinous crime. All of it. Wow. He shall join us in the Clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great. He'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? Huh. I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too? I eventually had him put pen to paper. It turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. Oh no, I'm so surprised. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led to her question him at length the day of the killing, right there on that stage. The result? The heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant.
But that scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner.
Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. You know, I had that thought earlier that that piece of paper might be from somebody else's notebook. That all the professors maybe have one of those notebooks or something. But they're explaining that it's from a person who's top of their class. That works too. Same explanation, really. Really? So then... Indeed, once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him. This, too, was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. Know that Constance Court was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes.
To think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant Juniper Woods not guilty!
Hell yeah, biatch! We did it! Finally! Holy crap, we did it! Let's go! Hell yeah! Suck it, Blackwell! You lost again, Hobag. 2 in a row.
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you, if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference.
Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain. That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today.
Court is adjourned.
Hell yeah! And it did end on day 2. You know, I thought it might, just based on how it was being set up, Omega. But it felt like we didn't have enough to go off of to really accuse the Professor Means guy. But we got there, and I'm glad we did. And the other thing is, usually 3-day trials are reserved for the final case of a game. Usually. Now, I don't think I've ever had a case go 3 days except for if it was the final case in any of the other games. I can't think of any where it wasn't the final case. It always ends on the second day. Unless it's the final case. So, we'll see if it sticks to that, consistency as we go through this game. But anyway, October 26th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Back out in the lobby.
Thank you, Thena. I really mean it.
Haha, it was nothing, really. I could take the biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You look pretty wound up there at the end. Literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I read that wrong, but you know what I meant. Anyway.
I wanted to thank you too, Apollo.
Don't mention it.
The way you were always there for Thena when she was in a bind. And at the detention center, where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of sun shining down on peaceful woodlands.
Oh boy, and this is where her first love for Apollo kicked in, huh? Oh boy.
I think you're an absolutely amazing person.
Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still have lots of work to do, and I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench.
I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why until that day, I'll... Guys, I've got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something?
Yeah. Does it have anything to do with your magic panties? Because I swear to God.
No, it's okay, I think.
So what's the big news?
The school festival, it was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but...
We just got a call. In memory of Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow.
Really?
Oh, right! Cool, let's go back to where people were murdered. Have fun with all the students so we can tell them about how their teacher got arrested for killing their other teacher. Oh, they're still going to do the concert. Nice. Okay.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy.
Themis. Okay, they did say it.
It's time for the
Tung,
guitar
baby.
serenade.
It's not the voice I expected them to give her, or give him rather. But here we go. Oh, she's not going to sing? Tung, baby. All right, well. October 27th, Themis Legal Academy, 3rd floor lecture hall. Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing.
Hehe. I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Ah, your singing voice, Juniper. It could melt my heart.
Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. Just remember, the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win, although Robin had you for a while there.
I did, didn't I? But I'm glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court.
Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and Hugh won? They must have. Level-headed lawyer, course genius, and hot-blooded prosecutor, course student. We'll go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the She-Devil's Black Heart. So, does this mean it's really going to happen? Uh-oh, he's going to confess. Juniper, there's something I've been wanting to say to you.
Huh? Ooh, is he going to do what I think he is? Ooh.
Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been.
Huh? Best friends?
Hugh, weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial? No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged it out of me during the trial.
Whoops! Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin. Miriam.
And Miriam? Okay.
Me too?
Miriam's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science.
I've been thinking. It's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And that the end never justifies the means.
Count me in. I would never have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. Wow, that's all she has to say? Alright. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet! And what about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit too old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, no talking about me behind my back. So what kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word... And so, after slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. No, Apollo's homie. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Oh no. Sorry. but I'll be taking a leave of absence. Right, that's what Apollo said at the end of the first case. Even now, those words would continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why? Why would you leave us all behind? Why would you leave us all behind, huh? Find out later, I guess. And that, my friends, is the end to case number 3 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies. Hell to the yeah. Got my achievement for finishing it, and victory is mine. Alright, well, I'm loving this setup for this whole thing about Apollo and his friend, apparently. I'm going to guess his friend must have died? Maybe? I mean, I don't think his best friend is somebody we've met in the game. I think this is something that's getting brought to our attention now, because I don't think it ever got mentioned in the first game, like the Apollo Justice game, that he had a best friend, or who his best friend was, if they did allude to it. I don't remember that. If it comes back that it is somebody we know, then that's fine, but I don't remember them mentioning it in the first game. But anyway, we'll find out in episode 4 when we get there. So until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in episode 4. Peace!